Hello! Happy times and everyone of you guys doing well. Having a wonderful, lovely day wherever you are in the world. My name is QB, yours truly, Pixel VTuber, VTuber editor, storytime teller, and public menace because of my yapping abilities, I guess. And I welcome you all to today's lovely stream and lovely video, I guess? People shy? Yeah, we're gonna be editing for Ren today. Let's begin the editing session, shall we? Let's go, let's go. As we always know, since we are going to be editing a YouTube video, or a YouTube Shorts video rather, the first thing is, initially with any edit, as always, is to cut down the footage. This is what's called a raw or rough footage. So over here, we have the entire video footage that we got over here, and I'm going to be having to play it entirely and then cut down different portions of it. And those portions will be the portions that I'll be using when it comes to my finalized edit. Initially with YouTube Shorts or any kind of shorts, you would want it to be between 25 seconds to 50 seconds, 6 seconds back, because that is like the ideal time frame for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikToks as well. Of course, you can go above or lower than that. It doesn't like have to be specific when it comes to that number, but ideally that's the kind of like range you want to go for. Let us see the footage so far. This is the rough footage that we have gotten. We're gonna listen to it first of all. There we go.
Do you want a babysitter? Here.
Where am I taking her?
Wherever you want. You know what? I can say we were all cyberbullied together.
Ren.
What?
Ren.
Did she already escape from you?
I need you. No, Ren. Okay, turn around. I need you to look at me. I accidentally put Panda into the fire and she blew up and she's gonna be mad at me. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. Please, you have to back me up. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know.
I believe you. I'll back you up.
Thank you. We need to get our story straight.
You know she can hear this whole conversation, right?
We're gonna be exporting it into its own MP4, as in its own video, in case something goes wrong when it comes to the video we're going to be editing entirely. In that kind of case, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming back to this as a reference. First thing first, before you start any sort of edit, you got to check the resolution of the video and then change it to the desired video style. Right now it's 1920 by 1080. In terms of shorts, we're going to be needing to switch that to 1080 pixels on the vertical and 1920 on the horizontal. So first things first, I will go to the effects control. I'm just going to be organizing my panels here a bit, and I'm going to be increasing the scale and the size. This is how it's going to be focusing on the person in a sense. You would always want your streamer or your footage to be centralized. In my case, there's something called safety margin or safe margin on the bottom over here. You can get it if you click on the plus button and you open the button editor. So once you have the safety margins on, this will basically be your bread and butter to identifying the ratio that you're going to be working with when it comes to any video, no matter what. In my case, since I'm used to it and I've already done it a lot of times, I kind of like have it visualized internally after so many videos. But ideally, you would want the video to be in the center point of the frame, or you can see like some small lines on the right and left, like those are the center lines. You would like your subject to be in the middle of it usually. So in my case, it's over here. What I do usually is I go for the motion, I click on it, I press Ctrl C and then I press Ctrl A to select everything and then Ctrl V. This way, the entire video is centralized around Ren. And based on the context I'm going for, basically moving that context around. Start things first, I'll be opening up an older video that I've done for Ren to get my assets that I've done for her there and like just move it back over here, such as some borders or sound effects or even the subtitles as well. So first of all, let's see what we are dealing with in the beginning.
Do you want a babysitter?
So do you want a babysitter? First of all, I wanted to move from inwards to outwards because that's like my signature intro always. So what I do is I click on Alt and I click on the video itself. If I click on the video without the Alt, it selects the audio and the visual, and I don't want to change the audio. So I just go for the visual. I keep on holding Alt and I drag it upwards by 1, and that will duplicate it for me in this case. So I would go back here, double click on my nested because I've already done it, and this is what I'll be taking. Like these are things I've done already. I'm just going to be taking the motion and I'm going to be pasting it over here. So it makes it much more easier for me and faster as well to work with that. Ideally what I'm doing is I'm just moving it upwards to a set basically position. In this case, it's over here, like, you know, just moving it upwards, rescaling. But instead of doing this all by hand, since I've already done it more than once, I just have it saved and I just like go back to the previous video, Control V, I've had it already done and it's saved and it's approved by the client. So I just like reuse it. That's one. Two, now we need to get the bottom footage, which in my case, I'd like to have the bottom footage be the gameplay itself. So I'll go back to the same nest and I'll go here, same thing. I'm only going to be copying the motion, going back here, pasting it. Now, once I'm done pasted it, I just start messing around a bit and I just start to see like, okay, is it worth it? Is it working? Sometimes I would like zoom in a bit more to avoid showing anything like the tail or anything. Sometimes I move it a bit downwards, sometimes a bit upwards, depending on what I'm feeling like. There's nothing like set in stone in this kind of sense. You just kind of like see what you feel right with and just go with it. Because like there's nothing wrong with this. Like there's nothing wrong or right when it comes to moving or motion. As long as you have the general points down, it should be down to just like your own preference and the client consents. So I'm done with this. I feel it's okay with this one. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take the border, which in this case, the border has been done by basically combining an emote that has been provided to me by the client, the small doggy over here, and the graphic. The graphic is just basically a rectangle. I just added a rectangle, I gave it a shadow, I just copy it, and I just post it. And now I have the entire beginning setup. I'm just copying and pasting. I'm not doing anything else. You all need to create it once in order to be able to do it more than once as fast as possible. Now to create the motion effect. I have a preset called generic bounce. It's just basically is a motion effect and I just added some keyframes to it. But I have added it as a preset to save me some time. The issue is if I do not nest the footage, in this case, it's gonna treat every single one of them as its own thing. So as you can see, it's already gone.
Do you want a babysitter?
And just like have it going up and down basically, and I do not want that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking all of these, left click, nest it, doesn't matter what you name it, and then I'm going to add my preset, which is the generic bounce. And now what's supposed to happen is,
Do you want a babysitter?
I'm just going to be copying and pasting what I had here. Like I'm not going to be changing the effect as much, but I'm going to be playing around it in a sense. So double click, get this one out of the way here. I can close the other ones, like always organize your timeline. Do not let it become too crowded because it can be a bit too much of a pain to move around with it in a sense. So we got it over
here.
And now what we're going to be doing is, first of all, we're going to check it's at 110. 110, what I could do is I can nest every one of them individually. So I can basically move them as well. So I'm going to make them all 110. They should hopefully be around the same scale as the previous footage. Yeah, they're the same. It's not even that noticeable. So what we can do right now is we can individually move them out of the frame. What I'm going to be doing in this case is I'm going to take my transformation again, but in my case it's called motion transform because it already has like some small presets like the shutter frame, and I'm going to just like simply move it outside of the frame. I'm going to take the same one, I'm going to do it over here as well. Now we're going to take this one and then we're going to go inside here and I'm going to just like add it like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be even anything. What we're going to be focusing on is just like showcasing rank, giving the package or the person in this case to their friend. So we're going to be going to another keyframe, add another ease out in this case, move it a couple of frames forward, and then we're going to move it upwards and then just like zoom out. Or zoom in, sorry, all the way until like they're in the center. I'll try not to move it too much to the left or the right because it doesn't look as nice if you do that.
Babysitter, here.
Right, perfect. Now, if you are feeling fancy, how I usually go around editing in general, and I learned this from another editor, is that you should organize your editing sequence step by step. So first of all, I edit everything visually in all of its entirety. I don't touch anything audio related unless it has to do with the effects. So I don't add any sound effects, I don't add anything unless it's necessary to visualize the video. And then, after I'm done with the visual effects, I start adding the sound effects. And once that is done, I add the subtitles and then the entire video would be done. In this way, I could be moving on much more faster, that's one. And two, I'll be much more efficient with my work. And three, if I'm feeling self-conscious or doubtful of my own skills or content, in this case, I'll be forced to tell myself that I should just trust the process and see how it looks like in the end. So we go back from here, let's say.
Here.
So I'm going to be doing this. This is my green screen. In order to change the hearts to something red, I'm going to be adding a tint to it. So the tint will be colored red, basically. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to nest these two together. And then I'm going to go and add a keyframe to the opacity. Probably will keep it at around like, let's say 16. I don't want it to be overwhelming, the footage. This footage is done. We're going to move on to the next stage of where am I going to take her. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add a transition, a visual transition this time around. And how I do this usually is I raise the audio and the visual part, most of the visual part though, and just like select everything. I move it back a couple of frames to overlap it with the previous frame and just see what portion do I want to showcase. There's not much happening in terms of like the visual side. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving back to this. This is my main reference point. So I'm going to be moving back here and like just moving it slightly upwards. And I'm going to just be adding another sort of like overlapping over here. Nothing that bad, just everything quite simple, everything quite nice. I'm just copying and pasting and like changing my visuals and my motion in a sense. There we go. We're back to this scene now. But in order to make it move back as a transition, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking everything and I'm going to be nesting it first of all. Now we have two overlapping videos or visuals and I need to transition it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting this small portion that's like overlapping and I'm going to be adding a motion transfer to it or a transform. Doesn't matter, whichever one you want to select. The goal is to have it move on top of the original video. So I'm going to be adding an animation or a keyframe to the upper footage over here, giving it the same interpolation, ease in, and let's say I want it to appear from the right to the left like this. So it's going to be like this. And this way, we're going to have this effect. Look at this, guys.
Do you want a babysitter? Here.
Where am I?
It does work, but I think a bit more space could be probably much more functional in this case. So I just like moved it a bit backwards, nothing else. Let's see here.
Here.
Where am I taking?
Perfect.
Here.
Where am I taking her?
The only issue I'm currently having with this video is that I do not know who's speaking and who's not speaking because I do not know the streamers very well. I only know Ren. I don't know who they are collabing with. I don't know their names. I don't know how they sound like. So I have a hard time differentiating who's saying what. And this can be a bit of an issue because I might mess up. I might not even subtitle the right person. It just depends on how I'm going to be dealing with this. Like, there's multiple ways to deal with this kind of like thing. You can ask the commissioner or the client themselves like, hey, who's saying what? Can you help me out here? They should be able to identify who it is, or like some of their other editors or other clients or other basically community members. They should be able to help you if that's the right you want to take. In my case, since I do not know, and I feel like it might be a bit boring to just like keep it like this basically. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a specific green screen, or at least like finding specific green screen or like memes and just like adding it in a sense to like kind of like give a different effect. So I'm going to first of all be cutting this portion out and adding an audio transition over here to just like have it be a bit more smoother when you transition the audio. I did nothing in the previous basically footage. All I did was basically just like move this part upwards. It does not affect the video whatsoever, does not affect the audio whatsoever. All it affects is how the video is being displayed.
Taking her?
Wherever you
Or at least how it's going to be heard.
Taking her?
wherever you want.
So wherever you want, cut that part out. Since I was given a Google Drive, which has memes and things for Ren inside of it. So I'm going back right now and I'm checking it. Since I have the assets for it, I might as well just create something out of it. This is where your creativity as an editor starts to shine. You can either decide to keep the video as it is, or you can be a bit more, you know, problematic like me and just remove the entire video as it is and just work around by creating your own visual effect or visual storyline, let's just say it that way. Since it's not Ren probably who's speaking, I'll just put an assumption that it's not Ren who is speaking. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding one of Ren's model, and let's just say I want to create a background with it. Like it's going to be flashing and it's going to be like appearing with her face and it's going to be zooming in a bit. And then we're going to be having the visual effect or the video move inwards afterwards, basically. Always remember, guys, trust the process. It helps. Trust the process. So we're going to be nesting this one first of all, and then we're going to be adding one of my presets, which is just basically the transition that I do. And we'll just like add an earthquake effect to it. I'm going to add a motion transfer to it. Leave the one you have already done. Do not edit multiple edits on one motion blur. If you need more than one motion or more than one transform, add more than one transform. Do not use a singular one for everything. It's not going to work out very well. Trust me on that. Always add more than one. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, this is what I want to aim for here. Okay. Okay, so this is where we wanted to start, because the rest, like anything before this is not looking at the character, right? So that does not really work well for us. Now we need a GIF to like show exclamation mark. So snake exclamation mark. Right, let's see if this works. I guess like there's nothing else we can do other than see. I got a exclamation mark, so I'm just gonna have to add it. I kind of want to add like Ren's colors on top of it. If we were to do it just like this, will this work out actually? It actually would. Surprisingly enough, this would work out for us. Huh. So let's add a tint over here. I want to like have a transitional effect here to showcase the laughing being very, very hard.
Ren.
Perfect. So what we're going to be doing now is we're just going to be going outside here. Same tactics as always. Just like going to go upwards by 1. I need to get myself the border as well again. Simple stuff. Nothing too bad. Nothing too wild as well. And then get the motion around. Put it over here. Get another motion around, put it over here as well, a bit forward. Hopefully the length is okay, because if not, we're gonna have to cut some parts out and like increase the length accordingly. Since there's clapping happening, I like to like add a small vibration to that. Now time to get the rotation done. Get a rectangle out here, put it down, get an effects. Whoop. I'm just gonna be changing the rotation rate, so that makes it much more easier to be much more functional in this case. Like just one is 5, one is -5. Nothing too big, and this one will be 5. Let's see how it goes now.
I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. Please, please, you have
I need one video though for YouTube. Okay, let's see how this will look right now.
didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. Please, please, you have to back me up.
I'm gonna move these ones, or at least like we're gonna just like have to synchronize this one over here. Nest it like this, and I guess we can just like move it backwards. Yeah, this could work out, I guess.
Back me
I
up.
believe you. I believe you. I'll back you up. I'll back you up.
Thank you.
Go over here. I'm just gonna move it downwards so it's like easier for me to manipulate and like work with. As long as like there's some motion happening, it should be like, relatively fine. Just like doing another flashbang over here for you guys to wake up, basically. Over here. Ow, my eyes, actually, that hurts. I'm gonna add another motion blur now. Something very, very simple, very, very sweet, and very, very nice. Scaling then, not too much, just like simple scaling in to end it in, basically.
You know she can hear this whole conversation, right?
Okay, we're done. This is how we started the video today, and this is what we used, basically, to create the short that we made today. And here's the video itself.
Do you want a babysitter? Here.
Where am I taking her?
Wherever you
Oh,
want. You know what? I can say we were all cyberbullied together.
Ren. Ren.
What?
Ren.
Did she already
need you.
escape from you?
I need you. No, Ren. Okay, turn around. I need you to look at me. I accidentally put Panda into the fire, and she blew up, and she's gonna be mad at me. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. Please, please, you have to back me up. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know.
I believe you. I believe you. I'll back you up. I'll back you up.
Thank you. We need to get our story straight.
You know she can hear this whole conversation, right?
This is the after version. This is how the video itself ended up becoming at the end.
Do you want a babysitter? Here.
Where am I taking her?
Wherever you want.
Ren, look at me. I accidentally put Panda into the fire, and she blew up, and she's gonna be mad at me. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that would happen. Please, please, you have to back me up.
I believe you. I believe you. I'll back you up. I'll back you up.
We need to get our story straight.
You know she can hear this whole conversation, right?
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully it was able to enlighten you in some way or another when it comes to editing shorts of this caliber at least. And if you have any question, feel free to post it down in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and you know, retweet whatever you want to be doing, basically, to spread this around. It means a lot to me. And you can check out my Twitch, where I go live and I stream those kind of edits, or rage at my Premiere Pro, or rage at games whenever I do play video games. And yeah, check out my socials down below as well. We have an amazing community who is always more than happy to help people out. You have a good one, and goodbye for now until the next time.